Marcus Mann is a rebel. Marcus Mann's a politician. Marcus Mann is a lover. Marcus Mann's a happy guy. Marcus Mann's a musician. I started in this game and I played with about every band you could imagine. I've done the whole music scene, and it's all really displeasing overall. The business side starts to overwhelm the art. I think that I can create a brand of music that's accessible to the mainstream and challenge the shit pop that you see on the radio and hear on the radio and see on the TV right now. And that's still music, that's still art. Marcus Mann represents that. And he represents all the people, I think, who are searching for that, and they're tired of having corporations ram messages down their throats. That's who Marcus Mann is. Well, that's a long story. So originally my story is I'm from the Caribbean. I was born in Trinidad and Tobago. You guys say the Trinity, La Trinité in French, I guess, or something like that. Yeah, my French is shit, by the way. So anyhow, yeah, I was born in Trinidad, and I spent then after that the majority of my life in Washington, D.C., around a lot of really prestigious people, politicians, all that kind of thing. Maybe that's what turned me against big corporation and the whole mainstream kind of frame of mind. But yeah, that's where I was from originally. So I just arrived in Europe, and we'll see what happens with it. Well, there's a bunch of reasons for that. The first one is this. The French are noted around the entire world in the music industry for not liking anything that's not French. I think the Italians do that too, but I'm not too sure about that. Anyhow, in France, the musical culture is incredible. So they don't like American hip-hop, but maybe they do. So instead, what will they do? They'll get a hip-hop artist to sing the exact same kind of songs, but in French. And then after, oh my God, this shit's a hit. But the American artists who are selling out #1s and all that in England and other markets and around the United States and whatever, they're still like number 14 or 15 on the French top 40 list. It's kind of crazy. So my thought is, if I can conquer at least a part of France, I've gotten the hardest customer out of the way. After that, I'm moving on to other countries and we'll see how it goes. Second reason I started here is because, well, my girlfriend lives here, so, so here I come. I didn't come from a musical family. No one in my family were musicians in any way. But my grandmother, though, she used to play the harmonica, which is weirdly weird. And she used to sing a lot, but she sang all these old spirituals and things. This is in Trinidad. She used to go to church all the time, so Southern Baptist-y kind of, that's the best way I can liken it to anyways. But she had a really, really great voice. This thing was like high-pitched, I always remember it. I never knew it then, but the more I think about it now in retrospect, I think that's where my love of music actually began. I spent a great deal of time with my grandma when I was a kid. My parents moved to the United States and they left me and my other siblings with my grandparents. So I lived with them for a while. And I'd always hear her singing every day. I'd hear her sing when she walks me to school. She'd play the harmonica in the evening time. It was her little ritual. She'd drink a cup of tea. Little cute little old lady she was. Anyways, yeah, I think that's really where it all began for me. I never knew it then. After that, when I moved to the United States, I started playing piano. I hated my piano teacher. I was a little kid, of course, so everyone hates their piano teacher, I think. So my parents said, well, you better play another instrument. So I started playing the cello, the violoncelle. I played that for a lot of years, 18 years, all the way through high school, university, and all that. And learning the cello, I started playing violin, viola. When I was 18, I started playing guitar. I just decided to pick it up one day. My dad brought home a guitar. He says, here's a guitar. And I said, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? I don't play guitar. He says, I don't know, I just got it for you. So anyways, I started learning to play guitar. And that was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. My dad got me the best damn gift because I learned I loved guitar better than all of them. So I play a lot of guitar for a lot of years. After that, good gracious, started playing bass, drums. It all just kind of came. So all together, I think anything with strings on it, I play. So guitar, violin, viola, banjo, mandolin, ukulele. So yeah, that's kind of my musical story. I love strings. Well, when I came to Lille, good gracious, it's a funny story. So I I had a show over at this little place in Lille called the Loca Loca. Anyhow, this one night, I started off the show, and I had this piece of shit guitar. There was this brand in France called XP. Now, I've never heard of XP in my life, but I learned very quickly that XP stands for extra piece of shit, because that's what this guitar was. Anyhow, I had to buy a guitar though, because I had these shows booked, and all of my musical instruments and all my equipment that should have arrived in France, of course, came late. So it was on a boat somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And here I have a show to play. So I say, fuck, let me go and buy a cheap guitar. I'm going to play the show tonight and see what happens. Sure enough, I go over there, and I start playing the show. And I'm warming up even before the show starts. And I break 2 strings on my guitar. Of course, it's 8 o'clock, all the music stores are closed. And there's this kid in the audience, this little guy. He's just kind of like sitting there staring at me very quietly and this and that. And he comes up and he says, excuse me, are you the American artist? I said, yeah. He said, well, yeah, I heard about you on the internet on some Facebook invite or whatever from, I guess the Loca Loca sent that out. And I said, really, you did? He says, yeah. So we start talking, you know, and da-da-da-da-da, and this and that and the other. And I tell him, well, you know, I got to apologize ahead of time to you. This is not going to be a really impressive show because I only have 4 strings that I'm going to be playing with. So I'm going to do the best that I can with it. I hope it's going to be okay. So, lo and behold, the kid says, well, you know what? Hang on. I'm going to run home and get my guitar for you. So I said, are you kidding me? And he said, no. He runs home, gets a guitar, and brings it out. And it's a damn nice guitar. He pulls out this nice old Fender or whatever, and I said, okay, I can use this. Are you sure? He says, yeah, please go ahead. I play the whole show with his guitar. We end up talking. The kid's a guitarist. And the kid's name ended up being Sasha Vasily. He goes by Alexei, we call him in the band. Anyhow, but yeah, he ended up becoming my guitarist. Through him, he knew a few other people, bass player and whatever, and you know, he said, you know, let's have him give an audition. So everyone came in. I had a week of auditions. Met a few other musicians around the area as well, and we had them come and audition. But these guys seemed to have a really good connection, really good fit, and so there it was. That's how the band got formed. Through a broken string and an extra piece of shit guitar. True story. No, I think that Marcus, man, my hope is we can open people's eyes just a little bit. God, my hero, 2 of my biggest heroes in music ever, is Bob Marley and Jimi Hendrix. Not because everybody else likes Bob Marley and Jimi Hendrix. It's because I grew up with both of them, like from a very early age. Living in the Caribbean, you kind of do. Bob Marley's music, you think about it, man. It was so simple. Everything about it was simple, right? Not a whole lot of... He didn't preach at you. He didn't talk above you. It was like if this guy, you know, you could watch him play a big concert in front of 50,000 people, and then you could expect him to almost come down off the stage and say, hey man, let's go have a beer and just talk about life and shit. And that's just what made his music so damn accessible, I think. He'd sing about everyday life. He'd sing about what he saw. He sang about people on the streets that he would see living on the streets. He sang about love. Really simple themes. But that's what life is though, man. The stuff that matters in life, it's all just simple stuff. My hope is that Marcus Mann will be able to start awakening people to simplicity again. the pop market and the whole music corporation and that whole machine, it's skewed people's vision of reality. So I hope that I can give people a dose of real life again. Something that's accessible, simple, plain, honest, real music. That's still poppy enough to be on the damn radio, I guess. So yeah, that's what Marcus Mann in the future ideally would be. Is this a trick question? I'm hoping that no one's gonna come out and be like, ah, you said you don't like New City, and then after they're gonna like beat my ass or whatever. No, Leo's great and Leo sucks at the same time. Leo's great for me because it's new, God, and it's not Washington D.C., which, fuck, I love. But Leo's difficult. It's a difficult market to work with. The French in general are a difficult market to work with. No offense to anybody French watching this, but you are. You guys are, you're really serious. And I think you guys analyze things intellectually. It's just cultural. It's not a bad thing. You analyze things intellectually first before you do with your heart. Maybe it's a defense mechanism, a national defense mechanism, so that you don't feel too exposed or too vulnerable. But I don't know. It's hard to reach people sometimes when I play for the Lilloise crowds. You have to put out a lot of energy to finally get through to them, which is okay because I sing pretty loudly, I guess, so and I talk pretty loud. So if it takes more, that's all it takes, you know. As long as they listen in the end, I guess that's what matters. What's your second question about Lille?
It's not about Lille.
Oh God. Yeah, I learned a few others here. So I started off learning about foods because I love food, man. So I learned, let's see, there was like lardon and champignon and onion, refrigerateur. If you eat too much, you'll be cool, and then after you'll get cellulite if you're a woman, which is not attractive, by the way. Like, avoid cellulite if you can. I'm trying to think here. I can give you my sales speech that I give to all the bar owners when they first meet me, and they say, "So who are you, Marcus Mann?" And I say, "Okay. Alors, bon, je m'appelle Marcus Mann. Je suis un musicien américain. J'ai juste arrivé ici en Lille comme ça en 2 mois. It's 2 mois now at this point. J'ai commencé de jouer ici et je voudrais jouer en votre bar. J'ai pu jouer, j'avais un grand mélange de musique que je jouais et dépendait de vous et qu'est-ce que tu veux, la clientèle, des rock, un peu de rock et un mélange de reggae, folk, funk, mais tout en acoustique. This is Marcus Mann speaking French. And that's about as good as it gets. After that, if you ask me anything to respond to you in French, I'll probably confuse you. And this is the best thing that you guys should remember. Marcus Mann is real and he loves you. It's true. It's definitely true. I do this for the people. I do it for myself too. Good God, I love making the music for myself, but mostly I just want people to feel what I feel, and I feel pretty damn happy and lucky every day just to be alive. And I think people are forgetting how much something that simple could mean. So I hope I see you soon.